Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Madge and Muted. I am your host, Madge Madigan. Welcome. I'm going to get to our guest, who I can't wait to talk to. But first, I'm going to introduce my producer, Scott Fitzgerald.
Hi.
Hi, Fitzy.
Oh, look, I'm like all low in the camera here.
Yay.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back. It's been a while, but it's always good to have you back in studio.
Yes, it has.
Doing your thing.
I was out getting a facelift and a nose job. Didn't work, though, did it?
Did the check bounce? Hey! Just kidding.
Yes,
I'm joking with
did.
you. I'm totally joking.
I'm going to be on Botched next. Okay. Fitz, Rockfox Studios, for all your recording needs. Like we said, if you want whatever, he does whatever.
I do whatever.
Say, Fitz, I'd like to do whatever. Record a podcast, a legacy cast, whatever you got.
Yeah.
Rockfox.com. Check it out. Also, quick shout out to stickandrudder.com, another sponsor in Fairhaven, New York. Wonderful pub. Look them up. Stickandrudderpub.com. Anyway, well, let's get to our guest, shall we? Okay. I got to read this. Because I'm so professional like that. Today's guest is a Rochester legend. Not like a map legend, but like a legend. He is a stand-up comedian and magician performing at clubs all around the country. He's done radio, TV, films. He's also a small business owner and origami enthusiast. And one a hell of a nice guy. And he's here with us today. Without further ado, ladies and germs, Sky Sands.
Hello, how are you? Nice to be here. It's good to see you. It's good to touch myself. How are you? Good, nice, nice.
Please don't. Security!
There's hand sanitizer on the table for that
I know.
reason,
I've used
too.
like 2 bottles of it. It feels good. It leaves you kind of glowing over here.
Uncle Morty, is that you?
You should know from an Uncle Morty. I'll tell you right now. Hi. Nice to be here. I am so wound up. I tell you right now, I'm like self-winding. I am. I never realized that before. I'm self-winding. I'm not wound up. The more I talk, the more I just get more wound up. I got to remember that.
It's like inertia. Isn't that how that works?
I dated her. It was so funny because you don't let the name fool you. She was actually cute, but with a name like Inertia, no one wanted to date her.
I had an Aunt Inertia.
My watch is self-winding, which is funny because it keeps good time, plus because the motion of your arm actually winds the watch.
Oh, I had one of those.
Well,
kinetic.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, ever since I broke up with my sweetheart, it's keeping really good time right now. I think I'm on Lilyhammer time here. But let's not joke around all the time here. It's it's life's not a yes, it is. It's a joke.
It's gonna be a long one today, folks.
Oh no. Sky Sands, half Jewish. It's not. Trust me.
Only half?
Yeah.
Which half?
The best.
The best half.
That's right.
What's the other half?
Assorted. I think it's like polyester rayon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're cool in the summer, though.
Oh, I am cool, and I do wick moisture away from
He's
most
breathable.
bodies.
Yes.
I do.
But do you have an elastic waistband?
I have an elastic waistband, and I can show you right now, no chafing.
And it's circumcised.
Do we have the chafing camera? We didn't do
You know
that
what? No, I don't. You sent
like
me
a
the other
chafing
thing
dish?
to try on. What was it called? The prober. And I just felt so uncomfortable even trying that one. I just didn't want to do that at this. So what's up, Madge? It's a
Speaking
pleasure
of
to
stick
be
and
here.
rudder?
It's a pleasure to be here for real. I can't keep on the same train of thought. This train derailed a while ago.
Well, it is a stick and rudder is a bar, so that's fitting. Sky. Well, Jesus Christ, we don't even have to have an agenda. We can just but I want to make an observation real quick here.
Sure.
Well, you probably can't show this, Scott, but Sky has an array of pieces of paper in front of him.
I have it's so funny because I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, it's okay.
My brain.
I do the same thing, and but I never bring them anywhere.
Oh, this is fun.
You should see it. I mean, here's a pile.
There you go.
What I did was I wanted to bring a pile of ideas that I have that I never talk about. I thought, you know what? I'll just reach into the pile and see what we have here. So I reached in, like, for instance, and I do talk about this a lot. I take an anti-anxiety pill. Plus, I have a prescription for a very, very strong laxative. And what I do is I put them in because they look the same. So I put them in the same vial and I shake them up and I take 2, sometimes 3, depending on the day. But I don't know which they are. So it's really cool because I never know how the day is going to be. It could be exciting or it could be exciting. You know,
oh my goodness.
It's kind of cool if you think about it. You don't have to think about it.
That can't be very clean.
It's very cool. I don't care. You know what?
Go through a lot of pants.
Yeah, exactly.
We do
That's kind of what I was getting at.
We do it for the art. We do it for our craft.
Right.
My God. To you, it's all about sanitation. You know.
Well, next time I shit myself, I'm going to say I'm doing it for the art.
That's right. That's right. And then you've got yourself your own little private Rorschach test, too. You know, oh, great. Oh, mother issues again. Mother issues.
Or I say what it's for the purposes of throwing it against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Well, I always say that's when the defecation comes in contact with the rotating oscillator.
Exactly. Right. Shit hitting the fan.
That's right.
So wait, the reason I brought up these pieces of paper, it made me think of something. Did you ever happen to see the Joan Rivers documentary? And I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it, but I just absolutely loved it. It was kind of what brought her final resurgence at the end. Mm-hmm. It was very critically acclaimed, and people were just like in awe of her because, like, you know, whatever she was, 80 years old, she was just, you know, off camera. We talked about, you know, going over to several shows a night. She was going to several shows a night flying.
Is it called Piece of Work?
Yeah.
Yes.
A Piece of Work?
Yes. I didn't see it.
It's fantastic. And my whole life I've wanted to be a comedian, and I tried it. I tried stand-up a little bit like 5 years ago, and I just got discouraged really quickly and stopped. But I may try again. I don't know. But anyway, just as a person who enjoys being funny, her work ethic. But anyway, because, you know, she was a groundbreaking. The reason I bring up the pieces of paper is that she kept an entire wall of file cabinets filled with note cards with jokes that she had written, you know, for decades.
Sure.
And so that just made me think of, like, every time, you know, she thought of something, and then they were categorized, you know, by
Oh, sure. By
women
subject,
jokes, dick jokes, whatever.
Yeah, no. When I was traveling, when I was performing, like if I was out of the country and I performed at this one place for a month. So just because I was getting ideas, and I was in Aruba.
Jamaica.
Aruba.
I hate that.
So
song.
it's funny because you go there, and I was having a beer at the time at the bar, and I said, I'd like a beer, please. And they said, it's $6, and they have the little cans. And I said, that's expensive. They go, well, it's imported. I said, this is an island. Everything's imported. For real. I mean, you could use that for anything except for aloe. And that was another story because I got hijacked to work on an aloe farm one day because I got on the wrong bus. But a different story, very cool story. But I had Post-it notes all over my wall, the whole wall with ideas, and I would change the order, and I would look at different ideas for the show. And I remember management came over because one of the housekeepers saw it and thought that I was gluing pieces of paper on. And I said, no, just idea. I took it off. It was all fine, you know.
Wow.
I used a repositional glue stick too. If you've never seen one before, it turns any piece of paper into a Post-it note. For real. 3M makes it. So you take the repositional glue stick. It looks just like a glue stick, but if you put it on a piece of paper, you can put it on a piece of glass, peel it off, no residue. Peel it off several times.
Oh, so it makes the paper repositional. You can't like reposition the actual glue stick.
No, you can reposition the paper.
Right.
And so I thought, well,
that's a misleading name. I don't like it.
Oh, but it's really cool. If you put it all over your body and then you have sex, it's...
I don't want to be attached to anyone.
You're not. You're repositioned.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. It's great. I want to be a Gumby. No, actually, I wouldn't want to be. I'd want to be Pokey, I think, because you want to be Gumby. It's like, but it's got the tapered head.
Right, so anyway, hung like a horse?
Hey. Nay. So what's up? What's up, my friend Madge?
I don't know. I've completely lost track.
You know what's funny is I was thinking about this the other day. Puppies, when you smell puppy's breath, it makes you giggle because it's so fun. You know, I love puppy's breath. And if a dog farts, It's funny. Because you don't expect such a silly noise coming from a dog. Sometimes if a dog's confident, the dog just looks and goes, oh, that. Other dogs get scared like you wouldn't believe.
Oh.
Now take the same premise and put it to a person. If you smell a baby's breath, oh, it's so cute. If you smell an old person's breath, it's not. All right. If a baby farts, it's cute. If an old person farts, it's not.
And see, I know because I can't fart with confidence.
Oh, see. Oh,
I
okay.
feel
I'm
for the
sorry.
dog.
Well,
That's-
there you go again. That's when depends on your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it depends.
How are
who your
you
friends
doing
are.
today? Depends.
That's
Or where
right.
that joke is.
That's it. Right.
So I want to get to this real quick. That was it. You were in a movie.
I was in a movie. I've been in several movies, but my most recent one is Bottom Feeders.
And that happens to have been written, produced, directed, whatever the fuck, everything, chief cook and bottle washer by Scott Fitzgerald.
Written and produced.
Scott.
Co-written and produced. I
Fitzgerald,
did not
Fitzgerald,
direct it.
Woo!
But thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, where do we start with that?
Okay, as far as the Bottom Feeders go, I was on stage one night and performing, which is weird because there was no audience. And I thought, this would be so much more fun if I did it like in
Wait.
a club.
Excuse me, that's what I used to call my ex-boyfriend.
What did you call him?
A bottom feeder?
A bottom feeder.
ho!
Well, you know what?
Not
A lot of women won't have their husbands do that, so that's okay.
Extra slight.
Hey, thank you. See, I allude to things. I've told this story before, but it's kind of funny because one time I did a show for this lady. Can I repeat this? Sure, Sky, go ahead. It's a good story. Thank you. I did a show in, I think it was Montreal, and a woman came up to me after the show, 80 years old, 80, and I knew her from another place. And she said, and I knew her
it a
from
bad
Rochester.
place?
No, it was a good place, AE Spa, 1855 Monroe Avenue. So it ended up that she came over and she went, Sky Sands, you are dirty. I watch your show. I've never heard you talk that way before. You are dirty. And I said, well, Rosalie, I didn't swear once. And everything I said was more insinuated or an innuendo. And she said, I'm dirty. And so it was kind of fun. But going back, because when you're talking about bottom feeder, I totally went off. I can't even tell you what I was thinking about.
You're on stage?
Well, real bottom,
you're on
right? But a
stage.
real bottom feeder, now that's gross. I won't do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was on stage at Comedy at the Carlson here in Rochester, New York. And after the show, Scott and his associate came up to me and he said, you know what? We've got a role that we're looking for to be filled with an actor, and I think you'd be perfect for it. So I said, well, let me think about it. Yes. And so
Was it a crescent?
it wasn't a crescent.
Southern style.
Dinner?
Southern style.
Southern
it,
style roll.
It had like some white gravy on it. I don't like white gravy.
That's a biscuit.
I don't
not
like
a
white
roll.
gravy, especially when the waitress comes over and goes, all right, you ready for the money shot? And I don't think that's,
The waitress?
yeah. Well, when she wants to put the gravy on it, I'm going,
Oh, right.
oh my God. I said, did you have to give me that image? Here, give me the ladle. So anyway, I said, sure. So they called me in to take a look at the script, and the script looked fun, and it looked like maybe I didn't know if I was going to fit in. And then I read the part that they had suggested, because I was reading the female lead at first, because I thought, well, because I've got some good hips. So it ended up that I liked it. And then I came up with a suggestion or two that I said, what do you think about this? And they said, oh, wait a minute. So with proper direction that they gave me, it ended up working very nicely. And I'm in the movie, and I have to honestly say this, and I can't stand when people say, I want to honestly tell you, no, lie to me.
Yeah, I know, I hate that.
To tell you the truth,
Did you ever notice though when somebody? I'm sorry, I watch a lot of those shows on like ID channel, and anytime they interview somebody and they're like, no, honestly, I don't. Lie.
And I watched a lot of the ID, and also but is a huge word when you talk to people, because when they say but, that erases everything they said before, and
It does.
the truth will come ahead of that.
And but has been a huge word for me my entire life.
Well, now you're splitting hairs. I think
I
that.
know.
Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Okay, I know. I'm
No,
getting.
I'm not.
Getting,
They're shaved.
I'm getting a little cheeky. Waxing, much better. Waxing. So I was in. So I did the movie, and I have to say, And I'm very tough on myself. On the way home from a show, if I do a show, even if it's
Punch yourself.
I do a standing ovation. I get a standing ovation, right? Let's just say.
Okay.
I think I got one the night that you were there, Scott.
Yeah, you absolutely did.
I'm not saying I always get them, I do, but they were standing, and so then I can think that was a great show. On the way home, I will, or back to my hotel if I'm on the road, I have already dissected and torn apart the show.
Oh.
So if I thought it was like a 9.5, by the time I'm back in my room, it's a 4 because of all the things I could have, would have, should have said, and the way I should have stood and a hand gesture. I do have to say, although I can find plenty of criticism, I did not totally dislike my performance. All right, you ready? Okay, I'll say it. I thought I did a pretty good job with the performance.
Yay.
And for me to be that accepting of myself is huge.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott, you've never seen me do that.
No.
Well, I have to say, I'm saying this for a couple of
Only
reasons.
every recording.
Oh, because I'm saying the reason why I say this is because, one, it's just not how I roll, because as a performer, let alone a comedian, most of us are very hard on themselves. If you think you're good, you got to be careful. If you think you're great, you are not. You're squat. Yeah. And the other reason why I say it is because...
I'm Jack Squat.
Wow. I can't... So you went non-gender.
Yeah. No, not...
Well, if you're Jack Squat...
My son's name is Jack. So.
Oh, so you...
Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh, bad image. Bad image. Bad image. Wow. My daughter's name is Placenta.
I'm sorry.
So
really
I'm
is.
also
Sorry,
hyping
Jack.
the movie because
Yes.
I want to say that I'm proud of what I did, and I'm proud to be in this movie.
You were great.
Thank you.
And this is not, biased. I really love that movie because if it sucked, I would tell you.
Would you
That
really,
I
though?
believe.
Yes, Scott, you know.
That I believe.
I really like this movie, Bottom Feeders. It's on. Is it just on Amazon?
No.
It's
Prime?
on Amazon. It's on the Googles.
It's on the Googles.
It's on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
Oh.
It's going to be on more things as we
okay.
go.
How about this? It's in the theater, okay?
Yeah.
Right. So I watched it, and
thing is
rightly so, because it was highly entertaining.
In the theater, you can have the huge things of popcorn, right?
Uh-huh.
And at home, you can have the huge things of popcorn and touch yourself.
Well,
And well,
Isn't
and,
that called? They used to be called a popcorn surprise, but I don't want to get into that. Hey, honey, want some popcorn? Whoa!
And added bonus, I used to say you could pause the movie, but I don't even do that. I just take the laptop in the can.
yeah, right. Take that laptop right in the
There you
shitter
go.
with you.
Exactly.
Have entertainment, we'll travel.
You know,
Hitting the head with the laptop.
one thing that I really loved after we saw the premiere at the theater last week, Sky,
Go ahead.
because I was sitting next to Sky like 3 or 4 seats over.
I'm sorry.
Our little buffer, our COVID buffer zone.
Right.
When he got done and he was like, "Oh, that was fun. Thank you so much. That was fun." And that was like the best compliment that I could have gotten.
Well, it was.
That's
know?
a great word
and I
for
didn't,
that.
and it's funny because I didn't. Again, I didn't laugh a lot during the movie, and the reason why is because you evaluate everything, just like Scott did. I'm
Right.
looking at the camera angles. I'm looking at the light. I'm watching her performance. But then I bought it. I didn't mean to buy it. I looked at it and went, should I buy this? And I actually pressed the wrong button. I was going to bring it back. And I thought, you know what? No, you should have this to save. And then I did watch it a second time as though I was a customer, and I laughed. And yes, parts of it are raunchy and funny and Animal House-like and Clerks-like, but it's not like any of those, actually. It's
Right. No,
Bottom
it's not.
Feeders.
I think just an aside. That's how I've been.
Hold on,
I
just so you
know.
know, everything is an aside. Okay, go on.
But I've been a writer and an editor my whole life, so I really have to train myself to not read a book as an editor, because I'll do that and I'll be like, oh, comma, oh, why'd you use that word? Oh,
Yeah,
what
and then
does
you
this
miss
mean?
the story.
Yeah, and I missed the story, so
Yeah.
I've had to do it.
know.
Anyway, so going back, what I can't remember now the review I wrote on Amazon.
Oh, that was a great review.
But the title, I said it's like something and something had a baby.
Yeah.
And now I can't remember.
I'll look for it.
Thank
Talk,
you.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Sure.
Was it on Amazon that you
Yeah.
did that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because we do things, and I don't think I'm giving away any secrets here. And you can stop me, Scott, if I am.
Okay.
Movies are not always done in sequential order.
Right.
And because there was a hiatus, and because of the COVID situation, and because of the Anyway, because of different things that went on, order was off. Well, I took care of some of my last scenes before I did my first scenes. And it worked out perfect because the timing of how it was fit perfectly.
Yeah.
So then when I realized the freedom that the directors and Scott were giving me, Scott and Steve, I said, can I go a little off script? And they said, of course.
Have you been on it yet?
Right. No, and actually I was really, really good. The first days I was good. I think I was. I mean, as far as staying on script.
Yeah.
And then the other days I stayed on script, but they allowed me to pull over into the commuter lane. And when you're in the commuter lane and you're driving alone, it's wild because if they don't see people in the commuter lane, you can get a ticket. But if you act like there are people in there or talk like it or hear them, and they're
just tiny people.
They are.
The review you said it's like old school and American Pie had a baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That was nice.
That's real cool.
We have a clip.
Can we roll the clip?
We can.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
And so it was the peer pressure from the deviant apes that made the good apes start smoking the leaves. And I don't have to tell you that precipitated the human evolution. Guys, you is late again. What am I gonna do with you?
Yeah, sorry. Hey, did you grade our papers?
Apparently you boys never turned them in.
Whoa, hey, we called you, remember? Dead Grandma's dead?
Wait. Oh, I think I do remember something about that. Yeah, it's coming back to me.
Yeah, we emailed them. It says right here you got them.
I'm sure they're down in my office. After class, meet me down in my office and we'll go over all of this. We'll get it squared away. Yeah. Thank you, boys. Wow. So let's get back now to our lesson. You say it's evolution, some say it's evolution. I just say it's Lucian. Doesn't matter. Lucian is Lucian.
So I didn't wind up going that night.
What an amazing performance. In case you couldn't tell, Sky was the woman in blue in front.
I was. And
He was Toothbrush Girl.
And it's funny because I didn't need
Crazy.
the ice. I actually made myself aroused.
But so the most fun part for me in this whole process was when the actors got to do, a little improv. There's the guys all got to do, throwaway stuff while they're walking into a scene, or they're walking out of a scene. They could say whatever they want. And Sky was doing the same thing with a lot of the teaching parts. It was just like he'd come up with this stuff and we'd all be dying, and we'd have to make sure that we didn't laugh so that the mics didn't pick us up all laughing.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun.
Can you tell I'm looking at you, Scott? I really do feel like now I'm doing a Brady Bunch thing.
What the hell are you doing?
Right.
Do I look like I'm looking at you?
No.
What? Oh, wait, no.
We're both looking at you.
I was looking at the
See?
three of us together. No, that just showed chins. I was looking down at you here.
Oh, like,
Hey, Scott. Hi, I'm Alice. Okay, so, yeah, there was a bunch of improv, and I didn't know where to. You know what it is also? It's just like life. It is just like life. That's why I have, because of the COVID situation and because,
so it was the
wow.
It was distracting me. Sorry.
I'm sorry. You guys,
Right. Okay. Well, look,
I was
now
trying
have
to. I was trying to cut away from whatever the hell you were doing.
It's a big. Okay, Mr. Abdul-Jabbar, look out the
And I
window and
do.
cough. Okay.
My wife crocheted those. They're camera dust covers.
Can we-
Sure they
can
are.
I have
I was going to say I'm Pearl Bailey. Okay, so
They do look like Rasta hats. I will
have-
say.
You know what? Now I got to try one because I do think it's good.
I'm a hipster. Look at
That
us.
actually looks good on you, Madge.
Hey man, don't worry
Yo.
about the thing because every
I
little
told you
thing
3 times. Don't be putting that on your head,
it
man.
is Irie.
Everything go by Irie.
Yeah,
Everything go by Irie.
I like it. Wow, this would be
I-
cool because they say you got to wear a mask
Come
when
on.
you're. So just put it over your head. Are you wearing a mask? I did that also. I wore a standard poodle mask into a store, And they said, I'm not sure if you could be doing that, sir. And I said, well, it says you have to wear a mask in here. I really did. But, you know.
Okay, you kids come in. The pierogies are ready now.
The Polish.
I can't.
You like
my grandmother was Polish.
Or that was Italian. I couldn't get the. My ex-husband.
You were definitely from
Polish.
somewhere else. I got that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's interesting because of the COVID and stuff. I've been.
Boy, I need the shave. Sorry.
The talking doesn't stop because I'm so tired of doing sets in front of my mirror. But I'm back on stage now. Things are loosening up, so I can't wait. And I'm going to leave town, and I'm going to feel confident, but I'm not going to fly. Not yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's a little early.
I think it is.
I agree.
False sense of security.
Well,
That and I can't afford it.
unless you're a pilot, you can't.
So
Anyway.
two pilots are walking on the airplane, and one's got a seeing eye dog, the other's got a cane, and they start bumping against the wall, and they start hitting the seats, and everyone's watching that are sitting waiting to take off, and they finally make it inside the cabin, and they close the door, and then they say, we're ready for takeoff, and they start taking off, and it's going down the runway faster and faster, and it's still staying on the runway on the ground, and this big wall is just approaching the airplane, and just before it hits the wall, the airplane takes off and banks to the left. Up in the cockpit, the pilot says to the co-pilot, one of these days they're not going to scream in time and we're going to be in trouble. That's my only pilot joke. All right,
so I'm sorry that we were talking about the movie and I got a little sidetracked by the crocheting.
You sidetracked?
I
Come
know.
on.
They call me Sidetracked Madge.
dig it.
Yeah, this is the show of tangents.
Well, I feel like I've met my my sister here because she's I'll call Lefty Madge because you're just not right. That's what I say. My name is Lefty Sky.
Well, the left one points north and the right one points.
Wow, this is a
You
piece of
talking
Velcro.
about your eyes, or you're talking about something else?
I just found Velcro here. It's funny because I'm going to say it. I went on stage once and I said, that, there's this big black guy in the street, and I just didn't think it was proper or correct. And everyone's walking around it, and I just thought, that's wrong. So, and people are looking at me. So I will go in my suitcase on stage and I bring out a big black I, the letter I. And I said, well, here's the big black I. So if anybody had lost this, it was in the street earlier today.
Oh.
Right. So people at first they were
You'll
really,
get there, Madge.
Yeah, they were mad, and then they went.
I'm sorry. I was bracing for impact.
No,
so
and
I didn't
that
really
was
hear.
it though, and that was the reason was because people said you're racist, and I went, why? Because I found if I said there was a big black R or a big black S, but I happen to find a big black I. Well, then who's racist there? Who's all of a sudden formed? Because you know what? Again,
You got a point.
Yeah, kumbaya, my lord.
Woo! Yeah.
It's always a ride. It's always a fun ride.
It is right. I'm a 15 ticket ride, and you don't have to put the safety bar down. You don't. It's so overrated.
Who gave you your funny?
Oh,
Where'd you get your funny from?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it was.
Show us on the doll.
I don't think it was the mom and dad. I really don't. I think it came probably as insecurity as a kid and watching cartoons and sitcoms and Red Skelton and George Carlin and there was another one. Who am I thinking of? Carol Burnett, Lucille Ball. Not as much Flip. He was okay.
I love.
He should have just come out and said, "Look, okay, you know what? I'm gay." I don't know if he was or he wasn't, but if you ask me, the guy was. He would have gone. He would have gotten so much because he would have gotten a bigger following if people but people couldn't come out back then. Well, I know that's ridiculous because now you get comics who are coming out and there's funny stuff. When I first started, there were only 2 comics that came out, and some people wouldn't hire them because they wouldn't hire them down south.
Who?
Who wouldn't hire them or who were the comics?
No. Who were the comics?
I don't know if I want to mention their names because I'm scared that if I get the name wrong right now, I thought a friend of mine. I thought Larry was, and I know. Oh, okay. I thought you meant
like way back. Like I was going to say, I wouldn't marry her because they're dead.
Oh,
but,
no. Working
I know
comics.
I know who you're.
So, but they're now people. Yeah, it's fine because it's just like saying I'm left-handed. Who gives a rat's ass?
So I was going to say, or it's just implied like a Charles Nelson Riley or
Charles
Rip
Nelson
Taylor.
Riley. I took the Charles Nelson Riley School of Talking, and I found out all you have to do is talk like Carol Channing. No, Charles. Wait. Who is it?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a second. Oh, Sammy, that's great.
That's Paul Lynde.
That's Paul Lynde, and that's the same thing as who did you say?
Charles Nelson.
Riley.
Charles was Wet Lips. Who did I do? Wait, Paul Lynde did the feminine talking for.
He was on Bewitched.
Right, but I used to say Paul Lynde. I can't believe I haven't done this bit long enough. Right, Paul Lynde School of Talking. I think was Carol Channing was the Liberace School of Talking. Liberace, you've been a wonderful audience.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Carol Channing, you've been wonderful. Thank you.
You know, just my mother. I grew up in a town south of Buffalo that was like 90% Polish, and my mother used to. Even this was in the 70s. Even she's like, "Oh, all these Polish ladies love Liberace because I guess he's Polish," and she's like, "Oh, they all love him." She's like, "If they only knew." And my mother knew back then, 70s, and I guess that's where I get my gaydar.
You get your gaydar, yeah. Well, you work
anyway.
I've worked in theater since I was, 9 years old. So, I've gone from.
Me too. I started doing theater workshop about then. So yeah.
Yeah. And
So
you're
anyway.
south of Buffalo. So you grew up in Miami.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Cuba, actually.
Cuba. We say Cuba. Yeah. It's funny. I used to love Cuban sandwiches, which are the hamburger with the ham and the cheese, and then I put a brick covered with foil on the grill, so it's smashed. They were and a pickle. Had to have a pickle
The
on
original panini maker?
it. Just about, yeah. Well, actually, Carl Panini was the original panini maker because he used to call them rock sandwiches, but then
His name
he
was
died.
Giuseppe.
Carl.
Giuseppe. no, it's just
Carl
But now
Any name.
I stopped
from Hoboken.
I stopped eating meat, so then I don't make them anymore. And I tried making you can't make a vegetarian Cuban. And now I stopped eating dairy for real.
Oh yeah.
Why? Are you lactose intolerant?
No, I can't. You know
There's
what? I
nothing
will
wrong
not
with
have
them.
I am not intolerant of anybody. So you're calling me prejudice again. Oh, you don't like those lactose people, do you? Yeah, great. Now we've got you narrowed down to lactose Americans.
Every time I go to Lactose Town in New York City.
My grandmother
I just
called me
can't.
lactating once. I'll tell you. I saw her lactating, and at that age, her feet were drenched. I was getting to a point. Oh, so now I gave
Cubans.
up. I don't even eat bread anymore.
Ricky Ricardo?
I don't eat bread. I used to
That's
be a
why
baker.
you're so thin now.
Well, I'm photosynthesizing now, and I'm thinking of giving that up because I don't want to hurt the chlorophyll cells. I used to be a baker, actually. Every day before school when I was 15 years old, I'd go to school, I'd go to the bakery, and I'd help bake the bagels, and then the baker would leave, and I'd have to clean up the mess, and then leave right before school, and then go back after school to finish cleaning up for the bagels.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
Did you grow up here?
I never grew up, but I was raised
Walked right into that
place.
one.
I know.
by a small left-handed agnostic Mormon family, and they were both agnostic and Mormons. So it was very, very confusing. But because they made me drink iced tea, and I didn't want to because I was following the Mormon. But I lived in the city off Conkey Avenue, and it wasn't even a great. I remember going to school, and they go, "Why are all those people outside his garage?" Well, because a guy hung himself, and that's where I was. And I was walking to school, number 8 school, which is now not there anymore. And then my family moved to Brighton. Again, because the Jewish thing. And then I try to move out of Brighton, but they don't let you. Like, there's these Jewish people on the border. I got as far as Cobb's Hill, and they went, hey, turn around. And they always answer questions with questions. Why? Why shouldn't you? It was... Okay. And then I was staying out on Long Island and taking I would take the train from Long Island into the city to play, like, the improv. And I would take the train... or Dangerfields, and I would leave at 4:00 to get there, like, by 5 o'clock or 5:30, because you had to meet someone there at 7 o'clock so that you can get a car ride to Jersey, so you could do the one-nighter and then get back to the city to reverse it and get home by 1 in the morning. And all for, at the time I was middling, so all for 25 minutes.
Oh my God.
You do what you do.
Well, yeah,
I've never heard that term before. Middling. I immediately knew what you meant, but I never heard that before.
Well,
Is that like between the opener and the
they
headline?
now they're called featuring.
Feature, yeah.
Ah, okay.
But it used to be you were opening, middling, or closing, and that's how it always was. And the thing is, everyone thinks that the MC is going to be fair, or it's going to be okay, that the middle is going to be better, and that the closing act is going to be terrific. And it doesn't work that way because a well-run show, such as when I was at the Tropicana in in Atlantic City and in Vegas, or even here at the Comedy at the Carlson, you get a good show. Sometimes they have a two-person show because like people like me, they don't want anyone on before as long because I can go literally an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. I've done. No. Can you believe it? And not just talk that long, but I think it's humorous.
I can't see it.
But it shouldn't be that way because there are times when shows are put on wrong and then you say, wow, the second guy was better than the headliner. You know?
Well, yeah. Yeah. And or somebody could have an off night.
Or there's also mic blocking, and that's when you're mic blocking somebody. I it's better than the alternative.
I kind of understand.
I know you do.
Yeah.
It's where the middle is ticked off, and I've had this a couple of times. The middle's ticked off that they weren't closing, so they will go out of their way to do the best job they can, not for a good show, but to blow off the headliner. And I had a guy doing that to me actually when I was in Las Vegas, and he was so ticked off. And then he had an agent coming to see him, and I said, "Why don't you just close?" And I asked the owner, "I don't care."
Yeah.
I don't care. They're not going to change my pay. If I was to be closing, and then he said, "Sky, I want you in the opening," and I'd roll my eyes, and he went, "What? Are you too big to be an opener?" No, it's just that if you're closing, you're on 3 times, and then you have to stick around in that one particular club. You have to stick around to take a bow at the end. They call you. If you miss your bow, he will dock you pay for that performance. So if you're down, the guys will be downstairs gambling, and they didn't make their bow, boom, prorated. They take off the show. But yeah, so he, it's crazy how that can work. I totally derailed. I was going somewhere with that, story about, Vegas, but I said, "Go ahead, you close." And the owner said, "No, I don't want him to close." And he did a great job that night. He did great. But then I went on and killed only because I thought, you know what? I got a show. I can't be pressured. I wasn't inhibited. He had a good name. He went on to do, and I've worked with some real good names. And right off the top of my head, Rainy Night House, New York. I worked with Rich Jenny.
Oh yeah.
And I was the closing
Platypus
act.
Man.
Oh, I was the closing act that night, and there was some guy middling, but he came in and said, "Can I do a set? I'm doing something like on the Tonight Show." And I said, "God, of course." And I worked with Rich before, and I really liked him. And he was such a nice guy and funny with a capital F, 3 N's in there. And then he's just one of the tragic stories of comedians who killed themselves. Yeah. Just because, the Depression,
Yeah, that is a, I'm sure everybody's heard that story so much that, about.
The tears of a clown.
Yeah.
When there's no one around. There you go.
Well, Smokey Robinson on Afternoon Madge and Fitz.
I prefer the English beat version.
Well,
I used to be a clown.
You would.
You know that, Scott, right?
I heard tell.
Did you
about your clowning?
Yeah, I was a Mick clown for a Mick restaurant chain for Mick 5 years, and then I quit. But I did have a woman once who wanted to get Mick done.
Oh,
so it was funny.
Did you give her the Mick double?
The Mick Big Mac. Yeah. It was she met me in a hotel room. She was because I
would have given you the Grimace.
I was gonna say I wanted to be Ronald McDonald, but they only gave me Grimace.
Oh.
I could only be Grimace.
Grimace was hot.
Yeah.
To be Grimace was hot, and especially before the interior fan was put in. I'm giving away secrets here, but I can now.
Oh, yeah.
But the cool one was Hamburglar.
I was going to say, is that like Turd Burglar?
No, Hamburglar was this little guy that would steal hamburgers. Turd Burglar.
Sorry. Well, that was...
Right.
No, Turd Ferguson. That's what it was on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, he was the character, and I guess and Burger King had the butt pilot, right? Or the Bun Pirate. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Grimace was Barney was a ripoff of Grimace, but anyway, I digress.
No, see, now it's funny you say that. Barney was actually Grimace's second cousin.
Oh well, there you go. So, quick question: was Barney? No, I don't want to talk about Barney. Ronald McDonald. I mean, the Mick guy.
That's okay. It's all right now, Ronald. Because if I said I did Ronald, then it sounds like I was, with Ronald. But I was
you kept
Ronald.
talking about Mix. I just want to know it's not me, but
Right.
I am
Gotcha.
Mick.
Calling me a Mick.
Hey, no,
not
I'm
the
calling you a
first time.
Fitz. Yeah.
But anyway,
Go ahead, Madge.
was
It's your
that
show.
a full-time gig being?
Yeah, I auditioned for it.
But I mean, like, is that 40 hours a week being a clown?
Not 40 hours a week, but I auditioned with like 165 guys that wanted to be him along the East Coast and the Midwest. I made it to a narrowing. Then I made it to
The final round?
callback where I had to go to Oak Brook, Illinois, because that's the headquarters of McDonald's.
Really?
And I had a mustache on my first interview, and I went back for the other interview, and I said, look, I do balloon animals, I ride a unicycle, I juggle. I've
But
never...
they keep popping whenever you do balloon animals.
Those weren't balloons, all right? But luckily, still no children. So I was him, and I shaved my mustache off, and they went, you had a mustache. I went, well, I'm getting the gig, so I want to be able to be clean-shaven. They went, you don't have the gig yet. I went, I'll get it. I said, I'm not arrogant. I know that I was made for this part. I said, I was. It's funny because
And I don't
back
know
in
what
the
to think
day,
about that.
well, back in the day, I swear to you, I had red curly hair, and people used to call me Ronald McDonald because it was a big red Jewfro, and it was here. Oh, great! So I can't make the joke about the big black eye in the road, but the Jewfro is okay.
But you're Jewish. That's how it works.
I'm black also. I'm African American.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Oh, you know what? If we go...
That's right.
Yeah.
So then if you're going to say we're all back from the same origin for the most part, then aren't we all brothers and sisters? Then aren't we all basically one? And now we're going to get into some existential stuff because we are.
Just a quick aside on that. I saw a TikTok video once and it was a black gentleman, and he was wishing everybody a happy Easter, and he's like, and I just want you all to know that not one person in that Bible was white.
That's right. I've always said that. They show
And he
Jesus
laughed
Christ.
maniacally.
Yeah, they show Jesus Christ like he was from Norway.
Yeah, exactly.
And no, he was a black man with nappy hair. It said it wasn't black. He was a brown man with nappy hair. Because when you think about it, Middle East.
Everybody had nappy hair back then.
That's right. That is right. It's incredible. But, people get so caught up in titles. And if I can't get mad about something that it's not worth. Some people they're not happy until they're mad. And I think that's crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
And not Madge. I mean, I wasn't happy till I Madged. Mm-hmm. Right?
Me neither.
Right. Magic with Madge. Oh, you want to see a magic trick?
Oh, okay.
This is really cool because this is magic. For those of you that aren't watching, Madge
and this will be the big closer then.
Madge is going to. I'm going to step back. Hopefully, you'll be able to get the. Can you see this here? There, I'm in front. I'm going to keep this in the camera's view, and Madge is going to describe everything I do with this industrial brown paper towel. It's a brown paper towel, the kind that smells like kindergarten and first grade.
Oh yeah.
You know how you?
Well, it's also the kind of paper towel that you can't just pull out one. About 4 come with it.
Right, that Z-fold thing.
Yes.
The bastard Z. The Z-fold over there. How do you think G feels? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to try this.
He's holding up the paper towel. Oh, he just ripped off a corner, and another part, and another piece.
Lots of pieces.
Lots of pieces, more pieces.
Is it really ripping?
It's really ripping. He's ripping those pieces right off.
Can you hear it ripping?
Oh my, yes, it's ripping.
Okay.
It's tiny pieces.
We've ripped the paper. Now, I'm going to place it. Oh, go on.
No, he's folding up all the pieces into one little bundle.
Empty
hands. Placing the little bundle of paper into the palm of his one hand. He's blowing it.
And the paper towel, too.
Oh, yeah, right. Paper towel. Now he's unfolding the paper towel little ball. And it is back in one fucking piece.
Right in front of
Right
in front of your peepers. You saw that happen.
Right in front of my eyes.
It's pretty cool, and even though, and tell me the truth, folks out there, and this is what real magic is. You may not have seen it, But you did, didn't you? In your eyes, and this is what it's all about. For those that didn't see it, you heard it, you followed along, and you heard her excitement. And I swear to God, I swear on my dog, who I love dearly, and that dog is God spelled backwards, right? That I love and well, anyway, that you experienced it. That I really did that.
I'm gonna watch this back in slow motion, frame by frame.
You do that. I'm going to watch you in slow motion, especially in that opening, right? When you were doing your dance, your dance of welcoming. I think that was called Madge's dance of welcoming. Madge and her sisters.
Hey,
we wanted to call this show Motorboat Madge, but we thought that we might get some unwanted.
Yeah, seriously, I
sponsored by the American Dairy Association.
You know what? Being a woman, yes, I am. I walk that fine line because, like, don't make me sexual, but then it's like I like being sexual, and if
play
it's
the woman
and
card.
if it's gonna bring you in, yeah, whatever. I don't know.
You're more than a woman to me.
If it's gonna bring you in,
well, I mean,
but also let me say. So I'm mostly like comedy. Hey, and I got a TikTok. Go to it, Madge Madigan, and
Madge Madigan TikTok.
Madge Madigan.
I will go to Madge Madigan on TikTok.
And so I was making a bunch of funny, things, and I'm like thinking they're freaking hilarious, and I wasn't getting any views. I made this accidental pervy video. You know how that goes. Well, no, maybe not.
Whoops.
Yeah. So I'm sitting at my desk, which is in my son's room that no longer lives here. And I got the camera set up, and I'm in like lounging shorts and a t-shirt, and I'm playing music, and it says something, I don't know, the caption was something about I live alone, all my kids are gone, so now I can do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah. So I can show you, and you'll probably know. So I sit back in the it was to that music. Dun, 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 dun. So in the beginning I did the part, are you ready for this? And then I did this, and I'm like, I can do what I want. And I basically was doing synchronized swimming in my chair.
Good abs.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to hit. So I was like spinning around with my legs up like that. That was like an invitation to violate me. Ooh. So, but I all of a sudden gained like 1,000 new followers overnight.
Does TikTok go away? It's only there for a certain amount of time, or is it there?
No, that's Snapchat.
Where can I find that again? That's good.
Madge Madigan. I left it there. 17,000 views.
My goodness.
And on that note, so go and look at me on TikTok.
That's why I said, where is it again? Madge Madigan on TikTok.
I'm Madge Madigan on all other social media. And like, subscribe, and share to my YouTube while you're here. Sky. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope I didn't step on your talking too much.
Oh my God! No.
I didn't say but. See, I'm going to start another sentence. I hope I didn't.
Just pull that. I get so
excited. I get so excited, and I just can't hide it. I am about to lose control. I think I like it.
Like it, right?
I
exactly.
do. I just it's.
I know.
There you go. I know. And it also, the thing is, because I get this way with creative people, it would be one thing if you were just if you were beige, but it's just like when on the road, when you work with other comics, that's when you become so creative and you start, if I was to hang out with you and I would either come up with some amazing material and some amazing things, or one of us would be in the obits probably.
Yeah. And we would annoy the fuck out of everyone around us.
Well, and who cares about that?
I don't really.
I start now.
But Fitz and Fitz is usually my banter guy. But I could see Fitz like the whole time like. And
did he make you wear the Taser Probe too?
No, he knows I don't go for that. No can do.
No, see,
anyway, Sky, see. We try and get out, and they suck you back in. Sky Sands.
Did you just quote The Godfather 3?
3.
No, I just quoted Bottom Feeders.
Nice.
Oh, bam.
Sky Sands, are you on social media? Where can we find you besides Bottom Feeders movie?
Oh, I believe I'm on not Pinterest. What's it? No, what's it called?
MySpace?
No, I'm on. Right.
Friendster or whatever.
You're a dick.
Adult Friends Fight.
No, I'm besides Facebook, which I'm on a couple. There's a mistake. There's a second site. I'm also on, what's the other thing that,
Instagram?
yeah, I'm on Instagram.
Oh,
I
okay.
just I haven't done it in a while.
Twatter?
No, just Instagram. And,
I'm on Twatter.
I can't get into that.
So where can people find out if you're like going to perform somewhere?
Usually it's either Instagram or it's Facebook.
Smoke signals?
Smoke
You got a
signals.
website, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And
okay.
skysands.com.
There you go.
There you
But
go.
I should post more on there. I
Yes,
really should.
you should.
I'm going to start getting on there daily because right now it's got a picture of me like at my bar mitzvah. So it's got to be updated.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Back
that was
to the Jew fro.
I turned into a man that day.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It would in a Jew fro and a leisure suit.
Yes. My gosh, you nailed that one.
I know. So again, thank you, Fitz. Thank you. Join him at rockfox.com for all
We're
your
like, I don't want
recording
to.
needs.
That guy's an asshole. I don't want to work with him.
He's hilarious. And check out Bottom Feeder's movie, everyone. And me, Madge Madigan. Like I said, like, subscribe, and share. And you can join me again next week here at madgemadigan.com. Or
I want to come back. Oh, Sam, someone else.
join me on Madge Unmuted, where you can find it at madgemadigan.com. Holy Mary,
All right.
mother.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.